I'm Tom Jones, and I'm a member of All Saints. For those of you who don't know me, I've been there since about the year 2000. I'm married to Terry. I have three children, Tommy, Rebecca, and Jack. I'm a physician here locally with Charlotte Radiology, or now US Radiology, and I've been at Northeast here in Concord since 1999. Trained at Duke most recently, and before that Wake Forest, and before that UAB. And I'm a radiologist, and I've been involved in the care and imaging of patients with COVID-19 since March. So it's been a long journey so far. When we first started out with the pandemic, PPE was not very widespread. We were a little bit worried that we weren't going to have enough of that, or we're going to burn through it and be put at great risk, but that has greatly improved, where we have great resources now and a lot of supplies. So that's been a good change for the future and going into the future with the virus. What we know about the virus, and I tell people in pandemics early on, the unknowns are more than the knowns. It's hard as a physician to get my head around that concept, but with a new organism like this, there's really no data, and we're kind of building the papers as we go and learning and living as we do it, both as patients and both as physicians. We're all in this together. It's a coronavirus, which is a single-stranded RNA virus. Coronaviruses are extremely common in the world, but not necessarily new ones. And this is a new coronavirus, so we don't have a lot of memory in our collective immune systems for this virus, thus why it's causing so many problems. We've sequenced the virus. That has been helpful to determine both its genetic code for therapies, as well as determining its mutation rate. And its mutation rate is very, very low, which is great, and that is better than actual influenza. And that is going to help us as we develop vaccines later into this year and into next year. So that's some good news, low mutation rate. Locally, here at your hospital, our stats have been trending down or better. Less people are getting sick, less hospitalizations. We're seeing less ICU patients on the ventilators, and our mortality data has also gone down. The reasons for that are not totally clear, and it's probably multifactorial. A lot of that probably has to do with what you're doing with social distancing and face mask, wearing a face mask. It also may have something to do with the fact that the R0, or the transmission ratio, how infectious the virus is being transmitted from one person to another, is now below 1 for the past 2 to 3 weeks. It started at 2.3. H1N1, or basic influenza that you know about, has a transmission ratio, or R0, of about 1.2. And what we want to see is we want to see a number less than 1 over time. Typically with viral infections, as mutations occur, evolution occurs in the virus, and it selects for a less virulent form of the virus over time. And we hope that that is what is occurring here locally and nationally and globally. So our stats are better. That's good news. They're trending down. Could they go back up in the future? They could. Would I be surprised by that? I would not, because I think these things are kind of a sine wave. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, and eventually they taper out and they end. But that takes time for that to happen. So COVID safe is a term that we use, and that means not free, remind you, but COVID safe is a reference to 4 things. It's hand washing, don't touch your face, wearing your mask at all times when you can, and also trying to social distance or stay away from large groups. I tell people that every day. I tell my kids that. I tell my wife that, and my 84-year-old mother that especially, who's been really more challenging to deal with than anybody in the family. But anyway, so my message tonight is one that, says we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go, probably, before we're fully done. We're going to do well. We're going to come out the other side of this, and we're going to be fine in the end. But it will take time. So remember to have patience. Remember that our knowledge of this is going to evolve over time. We will know more as time goes on and more papers come out about therapies and different things. So I look forward to seeing you soon through any of the offerings that we're offering virtually at All Saints, or you can even contact me through our website. My stuff is all there. I hope you all have a great evening, and God bless.